Very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the e-learning academy of Swami Vivekananda Institute of Science and Technology. So we are back again with another topic of our e-learning academy, that is international human resource management, a basic introduction. So we'll be discussing about what is international human resource management, the basic fundamental concept of international human resource management. So let us start. So first we'll be discussing about the different types of sources of employees. Okay, so there are very common popular term in human resource management, especially the international human resource management, that is called HCN, ECN, and TCN. Right. So let us understand what are these terms actually stands for. Number one is HCN, host country nationals. These are the workers from the local population. Okay, local population. PCN, parent country nationals, are the employees sent from the host country. These people are also called expatriate or expat. TCN, third country nationals, are the employees from a country other than the parent country and host country. Let us take an example. Infosys. Infosys is an Indian company. Now, in India, Infosys is having their Indian employee. Okay, so that is called host country nationals. Now, Infosys is also having their US office. Now, in US office, there are several Indians who are working, but the Indians are basically from the original country, that is the parent country of that particular company. So, Infosys parent country is India. So, if Indians are working in US Infosys office, then they are called as PCN or the parent country national. Now, say for example, in US Infosys office, one Japanese employee is working. Now, Japanese, of course, he is from Japan. He is not an US citizen. He is not an Indian citizen. He is from a third country. So that is why this Japanese employee who is working in the Infosys US office is called a third country national. Right? Right? I mean, the idea is, so HCN, host country national, Infosys, India office, Indian people are working, host country nationals. Now, in your US office, Infosys US office, Indian people is working, then it is called parent country national. In Infosys US office, a Japanese employee is working, a Korean employee is working, a Chinese employee is working. That means they are third country nationals. Now we'll be coming to the recruitment and the selection process in the international human resource management setting. Okay, so there are four approaches, as you can see in the slide: ethnocentric approach, polycentric approach, regiocentric approach, and geocentric approach. Clear? So number one is ethnocentric approach. So the key management positions are held by the parent country nationals, appropriate during the early phase. Infosys, Indian company, they have opened office in US. The major important management position are being held by Indians. So that is the concept of ethnocentric approach. Clear? Next one, polycentric approach. Host country nationals hired to manage the subsidiaries. Parent country nationals occupy key positions at the corporate headquarters. So what is happening? Host country nationals is hired. I mean, US is the host country because Infosys is having their office in US. So US is the host country. Now the host country nationals are being hired. I mean the US citizens are being hired to manage their subsidiaries. But in the corporate headquarters, the major positions are being held by the parent country nationals. That means the Indian people are holding the major positions. But however, the host country nationals, in our example of the Infosys US office, the US citizens are being hired to manage the subsidiaries. Next one is regiocentric approach. What is that? Variation of staffing policy to suit particular geographical area. There is no constraint. We need to understand we need to hire the best candidate based geographical I mean, based on that particular geographical area, based on the skill sets available, we need to take a decision. Provides a stepping stone for a firm wishing to move from an ethnocentric or polycentric approach to an geocentric approach. So it's just between a ethnocentric, polycentric to geocentric, right? So in between step. Last one is the geocentric approach. 6 best people to key jobs irrespective of the nationality. So in the geocentric approach is totally skill based, competency based. Whoever is best, hire them, irrespective of their nationality. I don't care whether the person is a host country, third country, parent country. If he fits for the job, having the best quality, he would be hired. Okay. So underlying principles of the global corporations. So these are the 4 approaches for the recruitment and the selection. What are the 4 approaches? We're just repeating once more: ethnocentric approach, polycentric approach, regiocentric approach, and geocentric approach. Now let us understand a strategic IHRM model. An IHRM model is a basic fundamental concept for these things. I mean, it is applicable not only in the international human resource management, it is applicable to the normal human resource management as well. So the basic is the attraction, development, and retention. That is the fundamental. We need to attract the right candidate, then we need to develop the right candidate, then we need to retain the right candidate. So what we are going to do, we will be doing the first induction. After the induction, we'll be going for a performance management. We'll be showing them the career path and the career planning. They will be performing. We'll be again providing training and development, and again we'll be evaluating the performance. Okay. Then we'll be trying to change their competency, their behaviors as per the requirement, right? And pay for their competence. Simple concept. That is a strategic IHRM model in the IHRM scenario. But however, this model is applicable for any IHRM practices. Now, the staffing policies of the IHRM that we have already discussed, some ethnocentric, polycentric, and the geocentric. So as we have discussed, again, we are just telling here in the ethnocentric model, the key management position are being filled up by the parent country individual. What is polycentric? In the polycentric staffing policy, the host country national manage the subsidiaries, whereas the headquarter positions are being held by the parent company nationals, right? That is the PCNs. And then what is geocentric? In this staffing policy, the best and the most competent individual hold the key position irrespective of the nationalities. Now, why IHRM or the international human resource management is being getting more and more important. What is the reason? Number one is the globalization of the business. That we know that most of the companies, most of the businesses and the services are being globalized. So if you want to provide global services, international services, you have to have your international human resource management policies and the procedures. Effective IHRM is the determinant of the success in the international business. That we know that if you do not have the appropriate human resources, you cannot run the business. Movement to network organizations from the traditional hierarchical organizations. So the human policies, human relationship structures are being changed. So the international human resource policies are evolving. So significant role in the implementation and the control of the strategy. If you want to implement your business strategy appropriately in an international setup, you have to have an appropriate international human resource management policy. Now, what are the challenges of international human resource management? There is a number of the pay issues. Definitely, this is an issue that is the different countries, different currencies, gender-based pay in Korea, Japan, and Indonesia. Different countries are having that. Health insurance policies for the employees and their families, overtime working, promotion based on the seniority and the merit. So they need to understand different, country having different cultures regarding the promotion, regarding the career development, regarding the health insurance policies and the minimum wages and etc. So you in the international settings, you have to change a lot of things than your host country or the parent country. Next one is the more involvement in the employee's personal life, because you are sending somebody from India to a particular other country. So you have to take care of their personal life as well. In normal, in a host country, probably you are not that much thinking about the personal life of an individual. But however, in case of international human resource management settings, you need to think. So more involvement on both the parent country and the third country nationals, housing arrangement, health care, remuneration packages, assisting children left behind in the boarding schools. Changes in the emphasis as the workplace mix of the expat and the locals vary, right? The combination, the expat and the locals vary, so that there may be some cultural issues. So you need to take care of that as well. Need for the parent country and the third country nationals decreases as more trained local peoples are available. the resources allocated to the selection, training, managing, development. So what are the IHRM activities? They are the common activities like normal human resource management activities, like the human resource planning, difficulty in implementing the HR in the host country, development opportunities for the international managers, employee hiring, ability to mix with the organizational culture, ethnocentric, polycentric, or the geocentric approach, selection of expat, and the managing representation process if the experts are coming back. So that process you need to take care. Training and development, emphasis on the cultural training, language training, and the training in manners and the mannerism, because it varies from country to country, culture to culture. Next one is the compensation. As we know that we need to pay the, the compensation structure would be different for an individual who is working in India Infosys office, and then he has been transferred to the US Infosys office. So their compensation structure would be different. So that you need to understand. Performance management system constraint while operating in the host countries need to be considered, and the physical distance, because physical distance, time differences, and the cost of reporting system, that varies. So that is important. Next on the industrial relation, because different countries are having different industrial relation laws, so you need to take care of that as well. Okay, so next we'll be coming to the effective implementation of the IHRM policies. So number one is a certain current intended nature of the international operations in the organizations. I mean, multi-domestic, international, global, or transnational. I mean, what kind of company you are. Next one is the determine the extent to which the HR policies and the practices should be standardized or localized according to the overall organizational strategy. Assess the extent to which the local, cultural, social, political, economic, and legal factors will impinge on any attempt to apply the standard HR policies. Integration is the key factor of the organizational strategy. I mean, if you want to implement your organizational HR policy in a particular other country, what are the implications of the local, cultural, social, political, economic, and the legal factors that you need to take care. Next one is ensure a computerized database of the global human resources is used for the integration desired. Next one is a work with the senior management team to identify the competencies required to achieve the global organizational objectives. Work with the national HR and line managers to formulate the HR policies, international human resource policies, and practices in the key areas of sourcing, development, and reward, which will embed in the transnational mindset in the organization. That is very important. Expat life cycle, that is very important area. So first is to determine the need of an expat. Yeah, I need an expat in that particular country. So selection process, you'll be selecting somebody from your host country. Then pre-assignment training, you need to provide the training. Then departure, then the post-arrival orientation and the training. After the orientation, there would be crisis definitely. Now, if there is a crisis in the failure, he will be coming back. If there is a success, he can adjust. He will be reassigned abroad, and in both the cases, they will be returning back. That is the reputation. So that's the idea. So that is called overall expat assignment cycle. Now, why the expat fails? There are different reasons, like inability to adjust in the host country culture. Leads to cultural shocks. That is a possibility. Personal and the emotional problem you may have. I mean, ultimately the person is a human being, so you'll be having his personal and the emotional problem. So that may be a reason for the failure. And the difficulties of the environment and the inability to cope up with the larger international responsibilities and the other family reasons. So thank you so much for listening to the program. I mean, this is the session of the International Human Resource Management. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be definitely coming back with other content shortly. Till then, stay with us, visit us at www.sbist.org. Thank you so much.